Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Friday to you all. Hopefully, you're wrapping up your week nicely. We're jumping back on board with some new music, and this is a very exciting one indeed because we're jumping back on board with the NINE.i boys one time. It hasn't been too long since we had a release from them. Is it Turn It Off or I think it was called Turn It Off, right? Yeah, Turn It Off. It was not too long ago. There's also a song that was very enjoyable to listen to. In fact, I was listening to it this morning before I realized that there was even a NINE.i release that I missed. But can they replicate the form off of Turn It Off once again, or is Neverland going to be something a little bit different, a little bit tasty? Let's find out. DJ, roll the intro. Interesting that the title, the YouTube text for Neverland is in that weird serif font. Because it's definitely not the native YouTube font. Rarely come across MV titles with it's the same font, like it's the same language that it's written in, but the font's different. Very interesting. Very curious about why that's the case, but NINE.i's Neverland. Yeah, Turn It Off has been a tune and a half and has been kind of living in my head for a little while. It's one of those songs that for me has gone under the radar for me, and it just sneaks up on you every single time. It was on my Spotify shuffle yesterday coming home from the grocery store, and I forgot how good it was. Oh yeah, this song is just bopping along to in the car. Can NINE.i do it again? Let's find out. Oh, we're in the build already. Okay, I thought we were gonna get maybe like one more chunk of the verse. I like the mixing of this. It's very wide open. That's a nice chorus. Love me a synthy chorus. And then straight into the second verse. This song is going by like snappy quick. And that extra synth part that builds here. Is this what NINE.i have in their locker? Is this what I've been missing out on? I also love the kind of natural concept they have, lots of nature scenes. With plentiful beauty shots, it makes for great thumbnails. Get your high note, King. Oh, get tasty with the hold there. Still going. And a bona fide outro. Wow. Oh, did not mean to do that. Holy smokes. Holy smokes indeed. It's great. It's really good. And you know, in terms of recent releases, NINE.i are 2 for 2 when it comes to the really good synths. Like Neverland and Turn It Off, very different genres of synthesizers being used here. This one, though, this one's very nice. It's kind of what I imagine what a boy group version of like Yua's Bon Voyage to sound like. Like it's got a little bit of a firmer synthesizer part, a little bit of a firmer beat to it, but also retaining that like fluidness of a song that is kind of, you know, nature based. And I mean the visuals help with that as well, but the song itself really doesn't have a lot of grit or like roughness to it, no angstiness, no like excessive aggression. It's just very smooth. It's very nice. It sounds a little bit like it's mixed in a way where it's got a very big sound stage, so kind of feels like you're in like a different plane of existence, maybe like a dreamland kind of place, and it very much is a song that's nice and bright and light and pretty, like something out of a dream, and I think that's really interesting. But it's also very balanced as well. It's sometimes on a song like this, there's a fine line between making it too bright, too ambient, and then too like atmospheric. I think this rides that line really nicely because it's got a nice amount of vocal power to it. The vocals stand out very well in the mix, and yet the instrumental section behind it makes sure the vocals get their chance to shine. But when it needs to, the instrumental part takes the lead and really like takes the reins on which way the song is going to go. And it makes listening to it really easy. Like you don't really need to think too hard to listen to it. And plus we get a really nice hefty outro at the end. I would have liked to hear maybe a post-chorus or two through the first couple of verses and through the first couple of choruses. Because I feel like the song, because it's got a really nice outro and ending at the end, feels a little bit backloaded. That's such a small comment to make on an otherwise really good song. Like, we'll run the first verse again, but like we haven't even started the song properly yet, but you hear like the it's kind of like uh a chirping synthesizer in a way where it's too low to sound like a bird, but it kind of has that effect to it. The heavy like floor toms, they ring out like they're being played into a really nice wide open room. And overall the setting you're getting just from the soundstage is this nice wide open place, and you really only get that in places in the middle of nature, right? And then you pair that with there's very subtle vocal layering going on the verse here, and the instrumental track isn't all that invasive. It's very simple, very rhythmically oriented. And the vocal part, it's one main vocal top line, but if you really pay attention to it, there's like a secondary vocal part in certain parts. Some are more noticeable than others, some are in harmony, some are in unison. But it's just a textural thing, where if you add a second voice, it adds more meat to that note, if that makes sense. And the way they've done it is so subtle, yet so noticeable, and I find that very cool to listen to. And then go straight into the pre-chorus. Get a little snare action going. Get that growing synthesizer. Hold it. Punchy synth, but not overwhelming, right? nice high vocal, allow it to like really shine. And then we go straight into the second verse. Like I think it would have been really nice to have like a little short post chorus there at the end, maybe a couple beats of the instrumental ringing out, and then transition over. Just because it does feel really quick because of it. Like I kind of want to savor that beat a little bit more. But then again, why interrupt the groove when the groove's just really good? So I can see why they've done it this way. I would have liked to hear a post chorus here just to see what it would have been like had it had a little bit of a meteor chorus there. But I think that's one of the interesting points about this song is just how fast it progresses until you get to the final chorus. Like the first verse is not very long. The post or the pre-chorus has a nice amount of meat to it, nice long riser. You get that additional synth part. Boom, you hit the chorus drop. And then, like, by the time you are really grooving with the chorus, it's like, boom, all right, we're going to keep her moving one time. It's like, oh, shoot, we're done already. And on first listen, it's like, that felt really short. In reality, it's a lot longer than it feels, but it feels very short. And that's very interesting because rarely do I come across a song where it just flies by. Because this isn't a quick song either, but it just flies by. Wild. I'm mighty impressed. I'm mighty impressed indeed. They were what, part of last year's debuting class, right? And I feel like I haven't really paid attention to them a whole lot. Like I've caught some of their title tracks here and there, but I mean, just from the two that I've listened to this year, their track record is 2 for 2. So who knows? There may be another one of those boy groups I really need to just lock in on because I'm enjoying what they're doing. And if I'm enjoying the music that a group is doing, why wouldn't I lock into them a little bit more, right? I'm impressed. I'm gonna have to look at the production credits for this and turn it off too, because the production has been very smartly done. And I want to see if those producers have worked on anything else that I might recognize. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.